Hello everybody, today I would like to review a game called Lord of the Rings by Rainer Knizia. I know that there are very many games that are in the Lord of the Rings license that are called the Lord of the Rings, but this one is the cooperative game which came out in 2000 by, it was published by Cosmos in Germany first, and then there's an English version by Fantasy Flight Games, which is this one here. Before I show you how the game is played, I just want to talk a little bit about the mechanics of the game. The game itself is, in my opinion, a hybrid between a thematic game and an abstract game. It is abstract in that you can only play it and, in my opinion, enjoy it if you stay true to the actual mechanics. House ruling this game will probably break it. I've said elsewhere that, in my opinion, thematic games, even if you don't like the rules or if there are some problems with the mechanics, as long as the theme works out for you, you can usually house rule them quite easily. Runebound would be such an example, Arkham Horror is definitely another example. But abstract games, if the mechanics don't work for you, or if you feel that the mechanics are even broken, I think house ruling them will destroy them. Now, the mechanics of this game could be played and used even if you peeled away the Lord of the Rings scenario and theme. Now, for those of you who know the Lord of the Rings, and I think that's probably most of you, the Lord of the Rings tells the story of a group of hobbits from the Shire. Hobbits are halflings who have gained a magical ring, which is all-powerful and which belongs to, or which was forged by the great Lord Sauron. This is him, and this is the ring in the game. And this ring, once it's reunited with its master, the Lord of the Rings, Sauron can destroy and will destroy the whole world, and Sauron will subjugate everybody. So the hobbits and a couple of other people set out from Bag End in the Shire to walk all the way through Middle-earth eastwards to Mordor, to Mount Doom. Mount Doom is a volcano in whose fire the ring was forged, and it's the only place where this ring can be destroyed. So the idea is to also move closer to Sauron, because Sauron actually resides in Mordor. That's where he lives. So you have these little guys moving towards the all-powerful evil, carrying the one thing that he most desires to have and to hold and to get into his hands again. So obviously they're walking towards doom. And this is the story. The story is one of sacrifice, it's one of cooperation, it's one of even treachery and betrayal, although betrayal doesn't occur in this game. But it's really about trying to solve an almost impossible task together. And the way the game operates, this is actually very, very well captured, because as you move along, and I'm going to show this, and I'm planning on making a series of videos that actually show the progress of play, you move along with your hobbits towards the different scenarios, which are represented by big boards in the game, and you have to overcome events and run through those scenarios so that at the end of the day you can get to Mordor and throw the ring into the fire. Now, this is going to be really difficult. Obviously, it's an adventure story, but there are ways you can mitigate risks, and among those is intelligent play of cards, because there is card drawing involved, so it's not all completely unrandom. There is randomness, there is dice rolling involved to a certain degree, but there is also mechanics you can use, such as, for example, making somebody put on the ring, which means that they have to roll a die, and then they can, for example, they will move closer to darkness if they are unlucky, but they can also then during the play try to pass on the ring. Sometimes it does make sense for somebody to sacrifice themselves just so that the rest of the party can go on. And this is how the game works, and as such the mechanics reflect the theme. I don't know which came first, if it was the mechanics or the theme, but in this case they are truly interlinked. This is a thematic abstract game, in my opinion. When I mean, you can play this game and you can completely ignore the beautiful artwork by John Howe, one of the great Tolkien illustrators. This is one of my most favorite images, actually. It's Gandalf fighting the Balrog in Moria. You can completely ignore this. You can just go, oh weapons, oh shield, oh ring, oh hiding, oh ring, oh heart, oh shield, oh sun. You can do this. And still enjoy the game and still be challenged by it. But the theme of The Lord of the Rings and the idea of a companionship, of a fellowship of people trying to solve an almost impossible problem by sacrificing and by collaborating is extremely well captured in this game. Now, the game itself is played on 4 big boards. The first one is Moria, the second one is Helm's Deep, then we have Shelob's Lair, and then we have Mordor. Now, over the course of the game, things happen, and you influence what's going on by playing cards. So there are plenty of cards involved. There are also thematic cards that are tied to certain locations. So, for example, in Rivendell, you can get certain cards that are associated with Rivendell in the story. Like you get Boromir, you get Gandalf, you get Andúril, which is a sword. You get Aragorn, because these are all cards that are thematically related to the stuff that happens in the book, in Rivendell, where the party is formed, where the fellowship is formed. So in addition to the normal cards that you draw from, you also have thematic cards that are associated with a certain location. So I'm going to set up the board, and then I'm going to show you the Moria board.